So I haven't sat down and drawn an OC in a while. I think it's been a month, and what better way to get back into drawing my own OCs than the main one himself. So hi everyone, I'm Ward, and welcome to my channel Wardrawsalot, and this week we're drawing Nikki. As per usual, when I'm sketching, I never really have a plan until it turns into one, and that's just kind of how this went. Admittedly, I think this has just been sitting in my sketchbook for a week or two now, I'm gonna say. But I've been thinking about coloring it in every single day since I've drawn it. Like always, I've kept the, outfit scheme relatively simple. It's a white t-shirt that's, pretty tight, because, why wouldn't it be? It's me drawing it on him. What can I say? And he's got these long blue jeans that kind of flare outward towards the bottom, almost like a baggy jean, but that accompanied with the choker and a little silver heart earring. That's the word, because I forgot completely what the word was. Yeah, I kept it relatively simple with the accessories and everything. I tend to do that always. I don't know why. I think it's kind of like a safety net for myself, because when I was younger and I would draw all these characters, I would put 15 belts on a character. I'd put 15 belts, and the shirt would be two different shapes on one half and the other, and the pants would be repped irregularly, and it was a mess. It was just a mess. And you'll see that if you ever go back into my old sketchbook tours, how I would just put anything on a character. I low-key blame the creator of Kingdom Hearts, if you've ever seen his art in general, Tetsuya Nomura, I think is his name, and how he creates characters. I love his art and his character creations, everything, I love it. But damn, he be putting belts on every character like it's nothing, literally 20 belts a character. And I can't blame him for that. It looks cool, but when I tried to recreate it when I was younger, that looked like a mess, bro. So I think that's a direct result of me today not trying to overcomplicate outfits, but I do want to practice the idea of overcomplicating an outfit without making it look overcomplicated. Does that make any sense? I want to put in all those accessories and all the little things that make the outfit unique and cool and just pleasing to the eye, but I want to do it in a way where it's not messy and unorganized, because an outfit can go from really good to really bad very quickly if there are too many things that just don't make sense. There are some people who are really good with putting outfits together and accessorizing them properly and just making the look very cohesive. I'm someone who kind of needs a lot of practice in that department in drawing and in real life. So that's something that I just kind of have to study. A lot of stylists, how they put together clothes, or just a lot of people on the internet, TikTok is a great place where people will be outfit of the day, and they put together a cohesive outfit for themselves, and it looks really nice because it's not overly accessorized, or it doesn't look off, because they put their own special style into it. Now granted, everybody likes something different when it comes to style, and I personally like almost all styles, I'm gonna say, just anything that isn't dirty. That's the only thing that I don't like, is when a style looks kind of grimy, but not in a good way. It just looks unwashed, unclean. But anything else I really like, goth, punk, emo scene, and then you have really cottagecore, preppy, pink looks, everything that in between. I like a lot of them, so it's just something that I have to study, just like I do with studying my anatomy and art, and then from there just getting better at it. Now I do want to kind of come back to the drawing right here. I had a crisis with Nikki's face, okay, because at some point I was this doesn't even look like him anymore, and I think it's because at first when I was coloring it in, I overcolored or put too much hair in his face, so that already kind of muddied it up. Then I kind of took the liner and I, from a distance, started lining his eyes, and then it got messy very quickly. And the more I kind of messed with it, the more I didn't like it, and I was like, what's going on? This doesn't even look like him anymore, in my opinion. And I just kind of kept going back and forth between the face and the outfit, lining it, until I was like, okay, maybe we can try and fix this. Now, the problem with saying those words is I almost never end up fixing it. Sometimes it's okay, maybe I can help it out and like make it look a little bit better, but it just was not doing it. And I kept messing with it to the point where I was like, this looks like gross, like I don't like it anymore. And I feel like the worst part is that the original sketch truly was lost between all this, and his expression was no longer the same, so I had to do what I had to do. So at this point, I had just kept messing with it even more than what you saw just then, and it just got worse and worse. The eyes, I was like, you know what if it's okay, like, we just do a smudgy, grungy look, and kind of do it like that. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense, because it wasn't planned for that. The face was like all messed up, everything. So I ended up taking up this square piece of cardstock that I had laying around. I put it over his face and I traced the face shape, and I kind of just started from scratch. Sometimes it's okay to do that. After all, this is a sketchbook. No one's paying for this piece. No one's gonna see it. Well, for you guys, maybe if you don't share it with other people, no one's gonna see it. For me, you guys are seeing it, whoever watches this, but I don't care. It's my sketchbook. I can do whatever I want with it. If it looks like ass, then it looks like ass. But I ended up liking this face much better because it actually looks like Nikki now. Now, I decided to do 3 different poses across the sketchbook, from what you could tell here, and this one in the middle is the backside of Nikki. I decided to do it just because I wanted to, I guess, spice it up a little bit, because I don't really do a variation of poses, and I kind of need to do that in order to get better. So I decided to do the backside and what it would kind of look like if he was looking off into the distance towards the left, so at least we get a good reference to what it looks like from behind. Now, of course, it's me drawing, so, you know, he's bound to have a bountiful booty in the back, and, of course, I'm gonna do that. I can't not do it, you know what I mean? I also tried to keep in mind that when I am drawing these poses, to draw them a little smaller and more forward up on the page. I always have the issue of drawing too big on paper, and I've been struggling with it for years, and I really do mean years now. I've gotten a lot better at it, though. Don't get me wrong, I have. But if I could get even better on it, that's you know, the goal. So I try to make sure that his pose is at least above to where you can see the start of the jeans. Not only did I want to draw a butt, of course, yeah, but I wanted to make sure that I'm getting more of the character inside of the sketch, which is why you have kind of the first drawing kind of like waist and above, then you have the second drawing, you have a little bit of the thigh and above, then the third one is almost the entire character, because I kind of want to practice putting in not only more of those poses into my cachet over here, but to also make sure they fit into the sketchbook and I have fun with drawing the entire character, because I kind of miss doing that. I used to do almost the whole body every single time I would draw, and I did that so I could get better at drawing bodies in general. I kind of forced myself into that space so I could have that, you know, idea of the entire character. But that was with bigger paper. It was 8.5 by 11. This one I think is like 8 by 8. I have to check again, but I'm pretty sure it is. And it is smaller, and I know that this is actually a rarer problem. Usually people tell me they have a problem with drawing too small in their paper and stuff like that, and I found that weird because it's like, wow, you guys don't have to size down, you just have to size up, but that's also a struggle within its own. Maybe in the future, when I finish this sketchbook, I'll get myself a bigger sketchbook, just so this way I have more of a free reign to go ahead and draw whatever I want. But now what I think the issue is going to be with that is I'm going to draw even too big for that paper, because I'm not really solving the problem. I'm just kind of scaling off the paper differently. What I have to keep in mind is that there are certain proportions to characters. Like, they say that the human body is around 8 head sizes, right? I have to keep that in mind when I'm drawing these characters, because that's how I will keep it even, anatomically correct, and just overall can fit the paper, because I'm not overdrawing the size. But to be frank, I kind of oversize the entire thing, not just a few things off of the drawing. Everything is just going to take practice and time and all that stuff. Nothing's going to come easy to anything, and honestly, this is the thing that if I really like it and I really care about it, then I'll take the time to learn how to get better at it, and that's fine that it'll take a while for me. Some people learn really easily and really well and really quickly, and I wish that was me, but it's not. It took me a very long time to get to where I am, even with my my art style, my drawing, my anatomy, everything. So that's just something that I'm proud of where I'm at now, even though it took forever. I'm very happy for the people who can get there much quickly or quicker. They can get there much quicker and know how to do things properly and know how to study it and everything. But sadly, that's not me. So I just have to do everything at my own pace, and always remember that for yourselves too. You don't have to go quick for anybody. Do everything at your own pace. Learn it the way you know how to learn it, and then your craft will stay the thing that you love, not something that you're rushing to get better at. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing that I definitely learned when doing all of this is pull out the right supplies for the right thing. A lot of my struggles came with the fact that I was using a liner that was too big for the drawing that I was inking. The nib of this inking pen is very flexible, and although that's great to make line variation, it could also be very dangerous, because if you just press down too hard just for a second, then it's way too thick for an area that you don't want it to be too thick for, and that can cause issues with areas that are really small, like Nikki's face on top of there and how tiny it was. So I had to be very slow and very careful and precise with my movements so I wouldn't mess it up. And I think that's kind of why I also messed up this Nikki's face over here, the original one, because I did it from a distance and I just did it quickly, and on top of that, the flexible nib. It was just a whole bunch of everything, I'm not gonna lie. But now a lesson has been learned just to switch out inking supplies for the right thing that you need to use it for. And finally, I put something in the background because I didn't want all that empty space just sitting there. It would have been weird. I kind of put these pop-up ads behind him, and they are saying like warning, like there's a virus if you continue, like all that kind of stuff. It reminds me of like the early 2000s where like all those like ads would pop up and you'd press OK anyway, or at least I did because I was a kid, and then you'd end up with like some really inappropriate images on the computer because the virus would download it. So that's kind of like what that reminds me of, especially with the way Nikki's looking over, a very sultry face and everything. That's definitely what it reminds me of. So it makes me laugh now, but I would have like a heart attack when I was a kid and be like, oh my god, what are these images doing on the computer? If anyone finds these, I'm gonna fucking die. And they would make me like panic because I didn't want anybody to see those, and on top of that, I didn't want to get in trouble for something I didn't even do. So that's what that kind of reminds me of. Yeah, whoever sent that virus around, if you're ever watching this, you're probably not. You're an asshole. Anyway, here are the finished drawings of Nikki in this sketchbook spread. I really love how he came out. He's absolutely adorable. Honestly, you could put a paper bag on him. I'm going to love him regardless. But both drawings are awesome, and I can't wait to do some more OCs coming up. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and remember, I love you. Bye.